led by What up, yo? Welcome to our first, maybe second edition of College Basketball Hangout. We did one last week and actually did pretty well. Cashed the first half Kansas when they played Duke. Got, I think, a plus 145 over that, so we made out all right. I had a guest on today, and we had him backstage, and we couldn't hear him, so it was a big problem. But I'm really mad because I was looking forward to having him on. You all would have loved it. Good old Maxwell Smart. Had Maxwell Smart in the building. And I'm really ticked, man. I was ready to chop it up with Max and just fucking blow everybody's mind, man. Talking about, how Max does, talking about his cupcakes and chicken tenders and fucking everybody with their eyes open. And we were talking about that the other day, man, when I'm losing fucking everything. I was like, I fucked with my eyes closed today. But anyway, you know how it goes. What's up, G Martinez, Tatiana, Anthony, Fabatashe, Tori Coker. Tori Coker and I have a bet this weekend with the Eagles and the Niners. And I was talking with a buddy of mine about this game. And, they've been betting against the Eagles every week. Tori wanted to bet last week's game and take the Bills. But I said no. Not because I didn't think they were going to win, but I told him to save his money for this week. And the more I thought about this game this week, as an Eagles fan, I think this is the week that I want the Eagles to lose, to be honest with you, because we're going to see this team in the playoffs. We've got a 2-game cushion. I have to see how the tiebreakers, shake up, because we do have a game against Seattle and a game against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys is down in Dallas. So that's going to be a tough one. And, if we lose that, then I think we're tied for the number 1 seed. So I have to see, what the tiebreaker is and how that works out, because obviously we're going to end up with at least 1 loss in the division. Still have 2 games against the Giants, so probably might end up with 2 losses against the Giants. But I can't see the Eagles letting that happen. Even though you'd want to rest some people and stuff, that home field advantage is the most important thing. So anyway, back to this Sunday. This is the way the Eagles have been playing. They've been playing really ugly, and the players know this. That's the crazy thing. They know this. At the beginning of the year, they couldn't score inside the red zone. They knew this, and they were able to fix it. But this offense is just looking really sloppy. And the problem with that is, that's all right, G. The problem with that is, they need a kick in the ass. They're 10-1, and you keep winning these games. As ugly as it is, it's still a W. So if they win this game on Sunday, I feel like go in. I don't like it, even though they know that they have a problem. I don't think that they have the urgency to fix it the way they should. And the problem is, the thing that I'm thinking here is, I want the Niners to come in and beat them. So to give the fucking Eagles a reality check, I think it'd be great for the locker room to catch an L this weekend, just because of the fact that they're going to be pissed off about it. And they're going to be worried about home field advantage. And I think they're really going to, that would really ignite that, the coaching staff and the players to get something done with this offense and, stop it from before we get into the playoffs. That it's too ugly. It's too ugly of a football game. Even though we're pulling wins out, it's just too ugly, and we're getting lucky. You can't really say it's luck, because you're playing 2 of the best teams in the NFL last couple of weeks, and you're winning it. But at the same time, if Taylor Swift's at that football game, does Travis Kelce fumble? Does he drop those passes? That's a question I keep asking myself. But anyway, so I'd like to see them lose this weekend, just because if they lose this weekend, there ain't no way in fucking hell the Niners are coming into Philly and beating them in the playoffs. And Tory Coker, I'm not gonna renege on the bet, man. You know, a bet's a bet. But be ready to lay some serious, because that'd be $600 you're taking off me. So be ready to put it all on the fucking line come the playoffs. And I'll be waiting for you. And so are us Eagles. So were my Eagles. So anyway, let's get down to business here, man. We got a lot of games tonight. We're gonna talk about a few. We got 19 people in the house. I'm really mad. I wish Max could be here. Um, but he couldn't hear me, and it's kind of, you can't do a show with somebody else not hearing you, What's up, Kendall? Good to see you, my guy. Um, so yeah, Tori, that's it, man. That's it. That's what I was talking about. Look at this guy. He said, I want to raise the bet to 1,000. What? After I just told you that I kind of think they're going to lose, or I kind of want them to lose? We can raise it to 1,000 in the playoffs if you want, bro. I'm down with that. As long as you make sure that shit gets sent like I sent you your money. I'm happy with that. You know, don't be going ghost on me. Don't be fucking Patrick Swayze. All of a sudden, fucking Niners get knocked out the playoffs, and Tory Coker turns into fucking Patrick Swayze. I'll be like, yo, what the fuck? I'm messing with you, bro. All right, so let's get it done, man. If you don't assassinate the QB, you're in trouble. Nah, bro. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. But I can't help it if the dude just he's brittle boned, and going against the top defense in the league, and the toughest playoff atmosphere in the league to play, dude. And you're Mr. Irrelevant that started 3 or 4 games. Come on, bro. That shit was not happening. It was not fucking happening. In fact, I called it in a chat the week before that the first hit Purdy takes, he's going to be out of the game. And I'll tell you what, man, I really would like him to do the same thing this weekend. Just hit that motherfucker, because, Peyton Manning, he spent his first couple years in Philly, every time he went to Philly, looking like a deer in headlights, because I was at that game. His first game that he played was in Philly, and Jeremiah Trotter just lit him up the whole game. And it was funny because every time you'd see him against that Eagles defense in Philly, he'd be like a deer in headlights. He was like, so anyway, all right. Let's get started. Also, hey guys, if you want to talk about any games, man, throw them up there, because I've got like 20 some games on the card. I can't go through them all, and I'd like to hear what you guys want to talk about. If there's a game you guys want to talk about. So let me see what's up with everybody up in the Chizat here, and say what's up to you all. We got Boss. Boss is home with some COVID. The Prez went on Jimmy the Bag with COVID today. What's up, Mike? Pimp Slap Mike. I'll be on Mike's show tomorrow, The Last Call on Pub Radio, if you guys want to check that out. He does a good little show over there, man. I like it. Told him, he's like a natural on there, man. He does a good fucking job. Good job, Mike. Take my hat off to you, bro. And Guillermo, what's up, G? Our guy Guillermo Zertucci in the house. My man G, man. I missed out on some mole Razor was telling me, bro. Maybe next time. Tory Coker, yes, we talked. And all right, so I got everybody out of the way. There's Jago's in the house. So all right, it's nobody's pulling a game up they want to talk about. I'll talk about the first game I'm going to talk about, and that's Central Connecticut. I took them first half, plus 1.5. I was thinking the money line and all that shit, man, but these money lines just burned the fuck out of me. So I kind of just wanted to leave that one alone and just take the points, even though I think they win. I really do think that they win the whatchamacallit. They win the first half outright. I do, I think. But I just took that second out of that the spread. Sorry. You know what? I gotta confess, man, I smoked up a little bit because I thought Max was coming on, and now I'm out here all fucking jibber jabbering to myself, and I feel weird. because I don't usually do this before I do my shows. But anyway, you never know what's going to be said today. That's for damn sure. But it's not as there's not as funny as stuff as say a women's basketball game. So anyway, all right. So first game up, Connecticut, Central Connecticut. They are taking on the Army. I'll tell you what. How about this fucking game? The first game of the day here. Subscribers got that game as an asterisk play. Chattanooga and Lipscomb. Sorry, I didn't really mean to go lip. But anyway, I gave out the under, and when it came out, it was 154.5. So I had to change that up this morning because it dropped 3 points to 151.5. But I still liked it. I still took that number. And here's the crazy thing. I took it, and then at halftime, I was thinking to myself, you know what? There's no way that Chattanooga is going to shoot 20% from the floor again after shooting 20% in the first half. So I took the over 78 and was able to middle it. And it was a short middle because the 78 would have put the final total at 148. And the full game, I had it I gave out at 151.5. So that was a short middle, but it paid off, man. They ended up scoring 150 in the game, which covered the 148 live bet, I guess you could call it, or second half. And then it covered the under 151.5. So that was one of those small little tight windows that I was able to pull that bag of cash out of. So that was pretty cool. And I like that, man. I like that. So the fix is in. The fix is in. I like it. So anyway, all right. So let's get back to this Connecticut game. And like I said, I have the first half Connecticut -1.5. And we're going against an Army team here that they're 0-6, but they're favored and they're at home. And, they probably scheduled this Central Connecticut team just to get an easy win, So I wouldn't be surprised. And this is why I wish Max was here because, he's the fucking governor of the fucking Patriot League, man. So he could tell us all about this Army team. It's one of the reasons why I picked this game. So, and I know he's probably cursing at me right now in this Central Connecticut, but I look at Central Connecticut and, they're a team that's actually been playing better in the first half. They were 14.5-point dogs. I think last game they played to UMass. And I had UMass in that because I think the line was, I remember taking this, it was 8.5 or something. And they ended up covering pretty easy because, but UMass is just a better class of a team. So that was pretty easy pick. But if you go back to I'm looking at this and I'm like, why the hell did you take Central Connecticut, man? Because they just got fucking crushed every game, man. So I'm kind of thinking to myself, why? What made me take that? So I'm gonna have to dig deeper into these numbers here because I don't have my notebook in front of me, man. So let's take a look at the numbers because I'm really questioning myself now. But I must have saw something last night that made me want to take it. All right, points per game, that's a big difference. You got 72 points per game with Central Connecticut compared to the slow offense of Army, who's at 58 points per game. Field goal percent, this is why I took it. Because of the pace that Central Connecticut plays, and two, because of their field goal percentage. Army shoots 36% from the field. That's fucking terrible, man. That's like almost last in the league. And Central Connecticut shoots 44.5%, which is, probably middled up around 180, probably around the middle there, middle of the pack. Which, for the country, you got to think it's 300 some teams in Division I basketball. So, and then 3 points per game. You have Army does average a little more than Central Connecticut, but I'm sure that's because they've been down in a lot of games, and you need to start throwing those threes around. And they're getting 8 per game, where Central Connecticut's getting like 5, 5.5, and this is where it's telling, because the 3-point field goal percentage is 28.4%. That's fucking terrible. you know. So they're launching threes, but they're not going in. And like I said, they're probably doing it because they're down so much and in every game. And at the same time, though, Central Connecticut's not shooting much better. But Central Connecticut doesn't need to shoot from the outside, man. They've got a good inside game, and Army actually, well, Central Connecticut has averages like maybe one more rebound a game compared to Army, but they're more dominant in the paint and offense than this Army team, and I think that's where they really are going to have the advantage in this. And but Army does well on the offensive boards, and that's one thing I don't like to see when I'm betting against a team, is the opposing team being better on the offensive boards, because that's just that's not good, man. You can't have teams getting 2-3 shots a possession. That's not cool. And then, but I mean, everything else kind of leans towards Central Connecticut's way, and even down to the ratings. Both of them are really shitty rated teams, but you got 100 schools that are better than um than Army offensively, and probably about 160 that are better than them defensively. Where Central Connecticut defensively is probably middle of the pack, and um, and as far as the offensive rating, they're probably about the same as Army. But that pace and that percentage is what we're looking at for. That's going to be the factor in this game, and maybe Army can get it together, being at home and scheduling Central Connecticut, because they needed a cupcake win. But I don't think they get it jumping off the bat. I think they're gonna have to play from behind in this. And I wanted to take the money line, but I just couldn't. I've been getting burned on it so often that I was just like, that's a point and a half. I'll just take it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we stand on that. What's up, Dabby Cab? What's good, man? Bro, I saw you called, man. I was trying to get ready for this show and everything. So I'll holler at you when I get done here. Um What do you got to say? He's telling us Dabs on and Cabs on UNC minus 120, and Texas A&M plus 130, and Duke minus 2.5. I actually too had that Duke play on my card, but I took it off because I was looking at my card and I was like, I got too many blue chips, man. Need to take some of these off, man, because I had a really large card today. So anyway, what's up, JPZ? Good to see you, my man. Razor Sharp, Razor Sharp. He's live on his show. Look at this guy. He just jumps in and what up? So JPZ, I took the over 145.5. Both teams can get into that set. Are you in the Army game here? I mean, I agree with you, just because Connecticut is not a defensive juggernaut, that's for sure. I mean, but they're not terrible defensively either, though. So given Army's pace, that's the thing. Who's going to control the pace? Because Army's going to take every bit of their fucking shot clock. That's the only thing that I think that kind of scared me from this total. I think it's at 132 and a half now. So over 145. Hold on, are you talking about the same game here, man? Because I don't see any 145s unless that shit moved a lot. And if it did, hats off to you, bro, for getting that CLV. Army plays basketball. Get the fuck out of here. All right, but I don't know where you get 145. Did you get it all over 145. I don't understand. It's 132. So anyway, all right, cool. All right, so that's where I stand. I like Central Connecticut first first half and plus 1.5. And JPZ seems to think the over 145.5 is going to hit. Unless you took that, that's going to be a hell of a plus money if you took it on an alternative line. So that's that. Let's get on to the next game here. We got Buffalo and JMU. Here's a game that I'm thinking to myself, these motherfuckers are just that bad, man. When I think about Buffalo, I just think to myself, they are that fucking bad, you know? And how long are they going to be that bad for? Because I don't ever remember a Buffalo team being this fucking bad. Let me pull my notes up on this game real quick. But yeah, if you guys like have any questions or anything, man, definitely shout them out. You know, I'm with it. I'm with it. This is an all-inclusive thing. UCI game. The UCI game. Oh, you're on the left coast. We can get into that. Give me 1 sec. Let me talk about this Buffalo game real quick. And then hold on, UCI. I don't know what, man. You can't mess with me like this, JPZ. You can't, you can't get me all flustered and shit. Oh, the UC Irvin and Duquesne game. That's what you're talking about. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I looked at that game too. It didn't make my card though. So let me do this Buffalo, and then we'll go take it. We'll backtrack at that one. So Buffalo and James Madison. You got two teams that are high scoring teams. You got fucking JMU averaging 92 points a game, but you also got to look. They played a couple overtime games too, so you have to factor that shit in. And that's eighth in the league, man. And I'm thinking to myself, Dan, there's 7 teams. There's 7 other teams that score over 90 points a game. Holy shit. And then Buffalo, they're scoring 70.5. So points averaging 70.5. But I mean, more to this JMU team, man. It's so crazy because 2 years ago, these guys were in the Colonial playing fucking Delaware, dude. And it's so weird because I guess the last year that they were in the conference, um, or maybe the year before, you could see them start to get better. And the last year, they were just like, it was like they paid players to come in. They were just that fucking good. It was just insane. And then they left and they went into the to the Sun Belt. And here's the fucked up thing, man. Because of the way they left the CAA, they can't play in any bowl games or anything like any tournaments for 2 years. And look at this JMU football team, man. What are they, 10-0? That's fucked up, man. That's some fucked up shit. I'd be pissed as hell if I was a JMU player. I'd be like, we should be in the playoff talk. And we can't even play in a damn postseason game, not a bowl. I mean, look at these little cheap ass bowls out here. The Rent-A-Wreck Car Bowl. I mean, what the fuck, dude? And they can't let them in something like that. 10-0. I mean, they got a good ass squad, bro. It really pisses me off because I like JMU. Actually, I know a couple people that went to JMU and played on the football team, but that was back a long time ago. Ron Crawford, my guy. So, all right, yeah, let's get back to this game. I'm on the over just because I thought this was a lot of points. And I don't know why it scared me because Buffalo just is garbage. But I I don't know. Something keeps telling me they're due. They're going to have a breakout game. But is it here against JMU at home? I don't think so. But I don't know, man. Who knows? Maybe they come out hot and just start running. JMU since the first couple of games of the season have been really kind of iffy. And in my mind, when when I'm watching them play, they're not consistent. Like, they played that game against Michigan State, and they look like national champions, and then I think 2 nights later, they play in Akron, and they're letting Jalen Sullinger, man, this dude was just popping threes. I thought it was Dame out there, man. This dude was, like, popping 35-footers, and JMU wasn't coming out and he was nailing them, man, like, nothing but net, and, JMU wasn't coming out to guard him. So, that kept the game close there, and JMU didn't adjust until, the second half, and even then, they still couldn't adjust to it for some reason. So that leaves me questioning JMU, and I've just been kind of sitting back and watching their games, not really betting them. Um, but this is a game where I I just really couldn't take a side in it, man, just because of the fact that I thought that first half line was either really sharp. At 13 and a half, that's a lot of points. You know what I mean? Or it's just way off. It's just really sharp or it's way off. That's the way I'm looking at this line. Because I really do think that Buffalo can keep it within double digits. So I think the over is the play here, in all honesty. If JMU's smart, don't want to try and slow this down, I think. Slow this game down and play Buffalo that way. But yeah. I can't do nothing but the over in this game. 75.5. You can get that 75.5 at FanDuel. That's going to cost you 114. You can get it at Caesars at 76 at -110. Last night when I did the card and got everything in, it was at 73, 72 or 73. So something like that. I can't remember, but it was better. And man, I wish it was still there because I'd love that even more. So that's my opinion on the game. That's where my money's at, and y'all can do what you want to do, but that's mine. Brian Stevens, what's good, man? What's hot? Good to see you. Um, what's he got here? Okay, I'm gonna parlay Buffalo first half over 76, Clippers -1, and Columbia -6. Tori with his parlays. um. I'm just trying to think. I remember looking at that Columbia game. I'm trying to remember who they play because I do remember looking at it. Um, they're playing Loyola Maryland. That's right. Yeah, that was a game that I looked at, and this is another spot where, um, Columbia, did they schedule Loyola Maryland, wanting a cupcake at home? Because I don't know if they're going to get a cupcake in Loyola Maryland. To be honest with you, they should be able to beat them. But Loyola Maryland's a tough little scrappy first half team. They've covered or won, I think, every one of their first half games except for maybe one, and that was against Sacred Heart. And but other than that, or actually, you know what? I don't think they covered. I think they were favored against Binghamton because I remember I took Binghamton first half money line in that game, and they lost to Binghamton in the first half, and that was at home. So, but other than that, like Brown, they played Brown really close. They were getting 5 or 6 points at the half, and ended up winning the first half by 2. And even going back to the first game against Florida, you know, they were I think 13 or 14 and a half point first half dogs, and they covered the spread. So I couldn't look any other way but Loyola Maryland first half in this game, and to be honest with you, with Columbia, especially yeah, I think that's the way to play this. In all honesty, if I was going to take it, but I'm not. So that's my look on that one. You might want to be careful unless you're doing full game. Full game, I think you may be all right, Tori. It just sucks if you could do like an open parlay and put live bets in there. That would be the fucking shit, wouldn't it? That'd be some awesome stuff. I would love to do that, man. I'd have a field day. These books are cutting me off. Shit, they'd cut me off after the first day if that they let me do that. That's for damn sure. So I'm pulling back up to that game because my shit reset. Because that game you got, if you talk me into betting this game, bro, I'm gonna be so mad. Because I can't allow that to happen, especially today, man. I can't allow it to happen. But they're 6.5 point. Columbia's 6.5 point favorites, and Loyola. I think Loyola. The way to bet this game would be to take Columbia second half, or something like that, man. To be honest with you, I really think that's the way to play it. But even then, man, they're still really close. I mean, even with Missouri, they were down by 4 at the half against Missouri, 19.5 point dogs. They're down by 4 at the half, so they covered the first half, and then you lose the second half by 4 points. So they covered both. They covered the first and second half. I don't know, man. I'd just be really wary of this fucking Loyola Maryland team. I couldn't bet against them. I just really couldn't. So I don't know if that means anything to you, Tori. Uh, Anybody else? Maybe I would take Columbia, but not this Loyola. I just couldn't do this Loyola Maryland team, man. I can't bet against them right now. They're just running hot, even though their record doesn't really show they're running hot. They are. All the numbers are saying they're running hot, but except for their win column, it's got one. But they're close games. That's the thing. So, all right. So again, I'm on JMU first half over 76. Let's get on the next game I'm rocking here, and it's Oakland. This is a team that, dating back to last year, the beginning of the year, during these games out of conference, they were darlings of mine in the first half, and I kind of forgot about them because they lost. They lost for me last year, and they lost for me big, and I never looked at them again because I just was that mad at this team. But I haven't played them yet this year. I might have played them once, and they won for me. But tonight was a night that I was putting it on the card, just because I think that they could win this. I'm not going to say it's not going to be an ass clincher, man, because it probably will be an ass clincher. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find my notes on this. So just to warn you that I like this play. I took it. They're playing Detroit Mercy. Detroit Mercy's 0-6. The Sharps, for some reason, are loving this Detroit Mercy team, but I can't figure out why. I cannot figure out why. I know Sharp money came in on them today, and I just can't figure out why, man. I don't see it. I don't see it. So they've done nothing on the court that makes me want to bet, run out to the window and take Detroit. They're, you know, they're not just getting beat; they're getting beat soundly. I mean, they lost 81-67 to last game against. I don't even know who the fuck this team is, man. I know who it is. Suey Emersville. Um, but they got their asses busted by them. So, but then again, the game before that, they played Eastern Michigan, and it was kind of tight game. They they lost the first half by 8, and then they won the second half by 4. Ended up being a 4-point game, but at the same time, they were favored by 2.5. So they didn't cover the spread because they lost. This is the enigma of how Detroit is a favored team. I just don't fucking see it, man. And yeah, I just don't see it. And then today against Oakland, I just don't see. I don't understand this one. At least for the first half. Maybe Detroit can do something in the second half. But every game that I've watched for them this year, they haven't been able to do shit first or second half. So, and the numbers tell me that, man. They're averaging 63 points a game versus Oakland's 73 points a game. You know, and again, I go and I look at that field goal percentage. They're both shooting around 45%. 3-point percentage, you have a little bit better 3-point percentage for Oakland, and they're shooting two and a half, three more threes per game they're making. But the biggest difference is the free throws. You know, the teams at the free throw line, 70% versus 67. It's not that big of a difference, but at the same time, you know, you can kind of breathe a little easier at the end of the game if Oakland's up. You know that they're going to hit two. Where if Detroit's up, you're like, shit, these motherfuckers are only a couple points over 50%. I better hold my breath on this one. You know, and as far as that goes, you know, even if they miss the free throw, the rebounding edge goes to Oakland. So, you know, you're kind of, if it's a tight game, I just don't see how Detroit can pull it out. To be honest with you, I really don't. You know, Detroit's averaging three more turnovers a game, um, and Oakland's averaging two more steals per game than they're averaging 7 steals a game, where Detroit's averaging 5. I, it's just even the offensive ratings, man. These guys are like at the bottom of everything, where Oakland's in the middle. They're right around the middle. So I think it's a no-brainer, man. And to be honest with you, this probably should have been an asterisk play. But I think you can't do anything but take Oakland in this situation. And I'd love to hear anybody's thoughts on it if they've got anything different that they think about this game. Let me see what Dom's got in there. Oakland hangover after huge upset of Xavier 2 nights ago. Yeah, I'm not buying the hangover thing, man. This is I'm just not buying it. It's too early in the season, and yeah, they might feel good about themselves, but these kids just want to go out and win. You know, they can't lose. They can't beat Xavier and turn around and lose to an 0-6 Detroit Mercy team. It just can't happen, man. I mean, like that would just totally take the win. I was gonna say, totally take the win out of Oakland sales. Stupid little pun there, yeah. That was one of those smoke it up, and say something stupid. But anyway, as far as Detroit goes, I just can't see him, man. I can't see it happening. So that's where I'm at, man. I think the first half plays, even if Detroit does figure out a way to come back, I don't think they're up at the half. So that's where that is. So let's get on to our next game here. And that's it. That's all I have, guys. So if you guys have any games you want to talk about, um, let's see. With this, there we go. Parlay here for Tommy Gunn over 144 UNC. Detroit plus 7.5. Wow. Princeton team total over 74.5, and UNC over 144.5. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Tommy Gunn's been on fire. But I don't agree with you on that pick, man. And I'll tell you what we'll do, Tommy Gunn. If you want to, I'm going to bring you on stage here, man. You there? You hear me? Mute, 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 mute. You're muted. I don't know. I think he thinks I'm messing with him. You're muted, man. Can't hear you. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I can't figure out how to go into the private. You're muted. All right. So anyway, I kind of wanted to hear his thoughts on this Detroit game. So guess we're not going to have that happen. But um, let me see what else. No, that's all you guys. You guys don't want to talk about anything else? Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. I bet full game, spread down a point. Yeah, money's been coming in on Detroit, man. The sharps have been loving them this year, and I don't know why. I really don't. I don't understand it. So I can respect that though. Dommy Gun's been on fire, so we'll see what happens with his parlay here. I don't know. I'd be kind of weary of that. I'll tell you what. I'd like to, next time we hang out, I'd like to bet dinner on it. That's why I wanted to get on one here. Say, hey man, let's bet dinner on this shit. So, all right. Is there any other games you guys want to talk about, or are we done? Because I mean, I can talk about another one here if you want. Um, Let me look at my card and see what I'm on today. Uh, da, 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 da. Yeah, that show kind of sucked, man. The whole vibe changed for me. I thought this was gonna be a great show, man. I had a whole different vibe getting ready to work, and it kind of got thrown off. But damn, I got a big ass card today, man. It's ridiculous. And the way I do these cards is like I do the early games, like there's games getting ready to tip off. I'll put those in, and then I'll switch, and then after they're done, because I'm betting first halves, then I'll start putting in the next round of games. So I kind of just keep them rotating, so I'm not putting up $2,000 at one time. You know what I mean? So that's how I do that. To be able to bet 20 games. And Thomas Smith, Temple minus 3.5. Temple is a team that I did actually have on my initial card, because what I do is at night I'll start capping the games, and I'll put down the teams that I want to bet on. And then I go through the card again when I wake up, and I see who's made the list, because I can't bet 30, 40 games. It's just financially impossible for me to do. Unless I want to lower my unit size. But nobody wants to lower the unit size unless they have to. So let me find that. Let me find out, because what I do is I type these in and I send them to myself. Now I hear you.
Hey, buddy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Now you're frozen.
No, I'm not. I'm not
Man,
frozen.
I'm having such issues with who banging.
Nah, it's not who banging. Why, you can't hear me now?
I don't know if it's you and
You can't hear me? Alrighty then. No, it is. No, the people spoken from above. They don't want anybody in with me. So anyway, Temple. Let's get back to you, Thomas Smith. Temple. Yes, I had them on the card last night, first half. Let me pull it up. I can tell you what the line was. It was -2 at the time. Let's see where we're at right now with it. Temple. And the thing I don't like about that is here's another good one, man. St. Joe's and Villanova, another Big Five game, man. Those are huge games. And that'd be a good one to go to. It's right down the street here at Villanova, and St. Joe's is right down the street from Villanova, and it'd just be a really good game to go to. But I was looking at this Temple game, and this one would be a good game to go to as well. When I first initially looked at it and went to cap it, I'm just trying to find it now because I don't know where it went to. Um, well, I know I didn't put it in my notes because I didn't take it, but it wasn't because I didn't like them. Because if I had, in a perfect world, if I had the money, I would still take them. but it's just a matter of I can't do all that money. I've got to eliminate some teams, and they unfortunately didn't make the cut. So that's why I don't have them on there. But this shit's got me all the way to Thursday now. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find this, man. Richmond, Temple, where the fuck are you at, Temple? And then I think the problem is they're playing LaSalle, another Philly team. So that's why I backed off of this, because these Philly teams, they're right down the street from each other, all of them, and it's really odd at how close these schools are together. It's a unique thing, and they've all these schools back back in the 50s and all, they were all known for their basketball teams. Philly was like the epicenter of basketball back in the day. I don't know if you ever heard of Sonny Hill, but big basketball guy in Philly, and had his own leagues and stuff. But yeah, so they are Temple in this game. For the full game, they are at 4. This is at Caesars. And for the first half, they're at 2. Now, yeah, if I'm taking the full game, I'd have to take Temple. I really would. If I was going to take the full game, I would take Temple. But I don't like betting full games, so I always look at the first half, and that's probably why I backed off, because I need to see what LaSalle team I'm going to see. And what Temple team I'm going to see. Aaron McKee, I love him as a coach, but I don't know, man. This team isn't as consistent as I want them to be. But that just might be because they've only played 6 games. So I like the bet. Thomas. Um, if you're going to bet it, definitely bet it full game. And I'll talk about one more game with you guys, one that I have on my card. If you don't have anything else you want to talk about, Dom says I like Detroit full game, so we're not against each other. Um, I just think that Detroit lost a better competition. You know what? Everybody's saying that. Everybody's saying that, Dom. Everybody I talk to is saying that, and it doesn't mean shit. How did they lose to better competition? That's the question. They get their ass kicked. That's how they lose. So I'm not buying this better competition shit. Um, somebody was saying that shit about I guess 2 games ago, whoever they played. Can't remember who it is offhand, but I know I was on Eastern Michigan. I was on the other side of it. I took Eastern Michigan first half, and yeah. So, and the numbers weren't there, man. The numbers were just overwhelmingly towards Eastern Michigan, just like they are tonight. I just I don't know. I mean, I hope you win, because like you said, we're not against each other, but I just don't see it. I really don't. Um, beat them by 52 years ago. um, oh, you crack me up, buddy. All right. All right, one more game we'll talk about here. And I guess I did put Temple on my card now that I'm looking at it. I'll have to look at somebody else's. Yeah, I did. I did take Temple. All right, so I'll give you one more play, and I'll make it a good one for you guys. How about Missouri State? Missouri State. Missouri State. At the time was -6.5 when I put the lines out today. Let's take a look at where they're at now. Missouri State. Um, I liked this game. I thought this was a good game to bet, and I'll tell you why in a second. Once I can pull it up. Missouri State. I think that game's around 8:30 Eastern time. I believe might be a little bit later, but we'll scroll up and see. 7:15. All right, here it is. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Eastern time. They're playing Evansville. I think Evansville is that team that just collects public money for some reason. I don't think they're as good as the money that comes in on them thinks they are, in all honesty. And I think that to myself every year when I see them play. Um, do they have a good program? Yeah, they have a good program. They're fucking 6-0. They're fucking 6-0. And they're going against a Missouri team that's 6-1. And in all honesty, this is a perfect spot where normally I would take the road team going in and stealing the first half. But this line is huge. And it's 11.5 for the game. And it's 6.5, I believe, for the first half. Missouri State. And when I first looked at it, you think to yourself, yeah, it's the Evansville spot, but it's not, man. If you look closer to this, I mean, yeah, they're 6-0, but you've got a Missouri State team that let me see here. They're shooting. They're shooting really well from the 3-point line, and the free throw lines are about the same. As far as the offensive rating, this is where the big difference is. You've got a better offense in Missouri, and not better by a little bit, better by a lot. Their offensive rating is 119.2. That's 37th in NCAA, 37th in the nation, compared to a defensive rating that's middle of the pack. And the offensive rating for yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't even talk about this game, to be honest with you. It's just a game that it just makes sense to me. It just makes sense to me. So we're not even going to talk about it. I'll go over my plays for you again. Let's check out Justin McKelvey's stacks POD. Detroit Mercy +7. Justin's on Detroit Mercy too. Man, maybe I'm contrarian here, man. But stacks POD record is 107 and 103. Bro, I mean, I'd love to hear why you're on it, man. I just seen so many sharps on it, man, for these last, not just this game, but a couple games before. They're bound to snap out of it and get a win, yes. But is it tonight? I just can't see it being tonight, man. I can't. But then again, I took the first half. But I mean, in all honesty, if I didn't have 20 other games in tonight, I probably would have taken it full game too. So I hope you guys win, since I'm only on the first half. But I think you got a tall road ahead of you. But who knows? I could be wrong, man. I've been terrible. I'm a terrible handicapper. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Let's take a look at the schedule, because I do want to hang out with you guys again, and I want to do this a little more, and hopefully be able to get Max on the show, because I'm really disappointed I couldn't make that happen today, man. We had a problem with his microphone. It couldn't hear him. Or he couldn't hear us. Sorry, he couldn't hear us. We could hear him, but couldn't hear it. So, and you can't do a show with somebody that can't hear you. And I was trying to whip out some sign language real quick, but it wasn't working. So, all right. So let me go over my plays again that I talked about. I am on the first game, and that game probably started now. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's on now. And Central Connecticut, I took them my plus 1.5. They're up 13-4. So just telling you, man, that Army play I just didn't see it happening. Next play that I'm on is a 7 p.m. game, and that is the JMU Buffalo first half over 76. And I think they can get into the 80s, those two. But yeah, I did really like that the Central Connecticut game was an asterisk play for me on my for the subscribers today, just so you all know. And the next play up that I had was Oakland first half minus 3.5. And I think that is another one that is a 7 o'clock game, I want to say. It could be an 8 o'clock game. 7 o'clock. And that's against Detroit Mercy, which we hear everybody's on Detroit Mercy here. And then the last one that I gave out was Missouri State, 6.5 or something, first half. These are all first half. So I appreciate everybody being here. And tomorrow, let's see what we got going on tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. We don't have many games. Let's see what Friday looks like. Friday, not that many games. Let's do a show tomorrow at same time, 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. Eastern time. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. I'll have my shit together. I won't be all fucking like sitting here all hide up by myself. Didn't like that. I don't usually do that before I go on screen, but I figured Max was here and it was going to be a good time. So it kind of backfired on me. But maybe, hopefully, we can get that issue worked out and we can get him on moving forward, because I don't know if you all watched him. He's a fucking basketball savant, man. He really is. And I love chatting with him, man, during basketball season. He's a dude that'll tell you, tell you what he's thinking, man. He's not that guy that's going to filter shit out. You know, straight from the mind to the mouth. My kind of guy. That's the type of shit I like to do, because that's the way everybody should be, man. Don't be thinking before you talk. Just say it. So with that being said, appreciate everybody being here. I'll see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Let's make some money today. I gave you 3 plays. One of them's halfway there and looking good. And we'll get some more tomorrow. Peace out.